Your last lesson there was on percentages. This one is on percent change. So it's either going to be increasing or decreasing by a certain percentage. And there's a couple ways you can go about doing these problems. I'll show you the way that a lot of people do them, and then I'll show you a little bit quicker way for those of you where it makes sense. Okay, so the first one here, it says a deli made $320,000 in revenue last year. Due to increased popularity of the deli, the owner predicts that revenue will increase by 23%. How much revenue does the owner think the deli will generate next year? So when you're looking at answers, make sure that the answers are bigger than 320,000, because if they're not, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. All of these are. Now a 23% increase is a pretty big chunk of money. So I'm going to cross off A because I know A for sure isn't going to be the answer. But the other ones, I'm not sure. I'm just going to go ahead and do the math here. So 23%. One of the ways you can do this is by finding 23% of this money here. And remember, the word of in mathematics means times. So we're taking 23%. If we switch that to a decimal, we move the decimal 2 spots to the left. So what you're doing is you're taking 0.23 of or times 320,000. So if I do that in my calculator, 0.23 times 320,000, I get 73,600. Now that's not one of the answer choices because that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. It increases by this amount. So how much revenue do they think they will generate next year? It would be this amount here plus this amount here. So we can take the answer we just got and add that 320,000 from last year, and we get 393,600. So our correct choice should be D. Now the shortcut, if you're interested in it, would be if it's going to increase by 23%, it's like we have the 100% from last year plus 23% more. So it's like 123% of what we had. And 123% would be the same as moving the decimal 2 spots here. So it's like the full thing and then 23% more. And if you take that times the 320,000, that's going to give you the answer here right away in one step. You don't have to do it in 2 steps. Okay, let's move to the one here with Barney. So Barney made $1,400 from his investments last year, but is taxed at a 12% rate for his investment earning. So if he's taxed, it should be going down by that much. So taxed at 12%. So we can do it real similar to what we did over here. We're going to take 12% of the 1,400, so 0.12 is 12%. We move the decimal 2 spots, remember. And then we're timesing that by 1,400. Okay, so we take 1,400 times 0.12, and I'm getting $168. So he is taxed $168, which means he started with 1,400, but then we have to subtract this amount from it. So you'd take 1,400 and subtract the 168, and we get 1232, which is F here. Now, if you're interested in the quicker way, like we did this was 100% plus 23% more. This one, if we start at 100%, it's going down 12%. So if we did 100% subtract the 12%, it's like we have 88% of what we started with. Okay, we don't have 100% anymore. We actually have less than that. So if you take 0.88 times the 1,400, 0.88 times 1,400, it should give you the exact same answer in one step instead of having to do it in 2 steps there. Okay, but both ways will get you there, and this doesn't take that much longer if that makes more sense to you. All right, the last one here. Miles is shopping for a new computer. He finds a computer with an original price of $325, but he finds that it is 15% off. So we're going to decrease it by 15%. And that's the first thing we're going to do. These problems that have multiple things going on, you want to do them in chronological order. Okay, so do what it says up here first, and then you want to do this part after. So first we're going to decrease it by 15%. Then we want to take that answer and we want to add on a 7% sales tax. You do not want to combine the percentages together. Okay, you don't want to be like, oh, it's minus 15% plus 7% and try to put those together. You want to find each answer separately and then get to your final answer. So if we take the 325 times 0.15, this tells us what we're decreasing it by. So it's decreasing by $48.75. So we start with the 325 and we're subtracting that 48.75. So if I take this one minus this one, I get $276.25. But then there's a 7% sales tax. So if you want to find what the 7% sales tax is, you're going to take how much it costs after the discount times 0.07. And that's going to tell you what it's costing. So we're going to take our answer times 0.07. This is $19.34 if we round it. Now remember, this is our tax. So that's how much the tax is costing. And then you have to be careful that you add the correct things together here. So the sale price was this. The tax was this, so we have to add those two pieces together to get our final answer here. So we get $295 and about 59 cents. There we go. So A for our answer there. Now if you wanted to do the shortcut with this one, we start with the $325. It's 15% off, which means we're paying 15% less than our 100%, so we only have to pay 85% of it. So if we do 325 times 0.85, we get the $276.25 sale price that we got here. Then we take that number, and it's a 7% increase, so we want 107% of this, which would be 1.07. So if we take that answer times 1.07, it gives us this answer here. And then you only have to do 2 steps instead of like the 4 steps that we did there.